Hello Dave, how are you?
I'm okay. As you can see, it's an interesting environment we're in today.
In your last interview with Out Soon, I read you were building a new studio in Amsterdam, maybe to make some new music, work in progress?
It's sort of a project studio, and I'm going to just take it very, very easy, and the less pressure and the less stress I get about it, the happier I'll be. But I feel that time for me to have a different studio approach, and we'll see what happens.
You're playing digitally now. Is your studio also digitally?
My studio is quite digital. My last studio, and which still is a studio, is quite digital, but this one is going to be completely computer-based. I'm going to be using a lot of Waves plugins, actually all the Waves plugins, a lot of SSL plugins as well. Whereas my real studio in England has a lot of authentic outboard gear, so it's going to be interesting to see how I deal with it.
Isn't there any gear you can't do without?
Compressors. I always need compressors, and it's going to be interesting to see if I can do it without hardware compressors, because I love the SSL hardware compressors. I love Empirical Labs, Avalon, Smart Research, lots of interesting compressors, and that's what I think I might miss in reality.
Do you have the plans in making an album or just some tracks? Or
remember that bit I told you about, the less stress bit? Yeah, that's what I mean, the less stress bit, because the next music I want to make, I just want to really make it just for myself and then see what happens.
I asked that because my next question is, how do you see the future of music distribution? Do albums still fit in there when you have all these single downloads?
It's a really tricky one. It's a very, very tricky one, because music has now gone out and it's gone free, and there's a generation of people that haven't paid for music, and they're going to find it very, very difficult to think about paying for music. So really, music distribution in a way is playing live or DJing live. That's music distribution, because people then come physically are there. As for music distribution in the old sense, I think it's rapidly disappearing. Am I sad about it? No, but I think it's a shame that record companies, like the major record companies, screwed around for so long that it's actually affected everyone's business in a way.
What happened to your vinyl collection? Did you still keep it, or?
I still have my vinyl collection. I wanted to sell it to one lucky person in Japan, perhaps, on eBay, but my girlfriend wouldn't let me. She said it's far better to have it because it represents your past. But interestingly, like all the 7 inches I had, I managed to get on iTunes, or managed to find on CDs and stuff. And then I'm looking for all these JPEGs of covers, and I'm looking for high-res versions on covers, looking on Google Images, and then finding the ones with the little imprints of the vinyl there. And then I feel, oh, I still have my 7-inch collection in a digital version, but I don't know, I'm not really that attached to it. The only attachment I have is towards things like my punk albums and stuff like that.
You put a lot of effort and time in your radio shows. Why do you like the radio specifically that much?
Because I like the stress it gives me. No, seriously. I think it's important to try and champion new music. I think there's a lot of great stuff out there which maybe doesn't get heard, and that's my passion, is to try and find it and actually present it in a way with hopefully my weight behind it.
Is John Peel your big example?
John Peel is a big example across the whole border, but he was so every type of music, from 20s wax cylinders, to everything. And I'm a little bit more focused on what I like. But of course, without John, I would never have had a career in many ways, because he was the first one to champion me, and I owe John a lot for what he did to start my career.
You will be playing at I Love Techno. What's the best part of playing at I Love Techno?
When you just walk in that room and there's 6,000 people in front of you, and it always takes your breath away.
Okay, thanks a lot, and I hope you have great fun.
Thank you.